this was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. I've got your science. Do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. Just keep on trying until you run out of cake. And the science gets done and you make the neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me, tore me to pieces, and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line, and we're out of beta, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we've learned for the people who are still alive. Look at me still talking when the sights are due. When I look out there, it makes me glad I'm not you. On experiments to run, there is research to be done on the people who are still alive. And believe me, I am still alive. And while you're dying, I'll be still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive. Still alive. I'm still alive, baby.
And we are live. Welcome to the Journey Podcast. I'm your host, Dashing Rogue, and I'm with my frequent sidekick, Artistic Layman.
I apologize in advance. The eating you're about to see will not be pretty. And if you have young children, this would be a good time for them to leave the room.
Indeed. What's up, fuckers? How you doing? Yeah, Armored Ghost says, still alive, still alive. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the fucking theme of the fucking, well, that's the theme of the 2020s at this point. I mean, a lot of people are still alive.
I would like to take this moment to express that as a Frank Sinatra fan, that was awesome! Oh my gosh. That was so cool.
Sometimes the algorithm aligns and it gives you exactly what you need when you need it, right?
Honestly, if I didn't know that was an AI, I would think to myself, when did Sinatra sing a song like this? Wow.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Armored Ghost says, you know what else is alive? Rogue's roast turkey. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I might get a turkey. I'm definitely going to be hanging out. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Thanksgiving coming up, dude.
Well, not for a while, but you can't take that to my neighbors whose have Christmas tree lights up.
Well, I mean, your neighbors are pretty base, by the way. They're pretty cool.
But Thanksgiving has to pass first. It's not right.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't know. I mean, I'm benefiting from it right now because, well, I'll just say it to all you guys. The reason I've been gone for so long is not just because Luke, my AV guy, has been gone, but it's primarily due to the fact I got let go. And let's be I got let go again. It's fucking sad. And well, let's just say that they decided to cut me loose with only 3 days worth of pay. Wonderful, isn't it? DK says this Monday has me feeling like Garfield. Yeah, dude, I feel ya. I hate Mondays. I always hated Sundays. I don't know. Maybe that was just me. I don't like Sundays because.
Which I must say, Chris Pratt's an excellent choice for Garfield.
I'm still was this not John Belushi? What the hell's his name?
Lorenzo's song.
No, not John Belushi. What the fuck is his name from Garfield? The guy who played him. He was in Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Yeah, Bill Murray.
Lorenzo's song was basically the Bill Murray wannabe, and you can tell his voice in his productions. And he was the default Garfield voice, and Chris Pratt sounds just enough like Lorenzo's song for it to work.
Yet.
Or at least he has the tone of it, because it's just hilarious.
Honestly, I really do. I've really been tinkering a hell of a lot more with AI in my spare time, because between, trying to compensate, because I don't have a lot of cash now, and I really don't have a lot of money, but I have like $600, and I usually, I have to, in order for me to get to the fucking site of all places, it's about twice as much as not twice as much. It's about 34 miles up and 34 miles back from the work site. So, it costs me money, and I still had to freaking repair my vehicles and crap like that. And actually being responsible, actually having responsible fucking expenditures,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I'll make it through it, and I've already sold a few of my stuff. And, the cool thing about, Christmas coming early this year is that all my stuff that I sell is usually collectibles, and it's actually stuff that people would want to buy. So I'm surviving. I'm not, living in comfort, but I'm gonna find more work. I have 2 more interviews this week, I should say. I'm just pissed off the fact that they let me go after 1 month, and I had other interviews to go, right? I had other interviews and other jobs lined up, and they decided to waste my fucking time. And, and the sad part here is they lied to me in the interview. I told them flat up, hey, I could do this X, Y, and Z, but I have a little trouble with Z because I don't actually do Z. I will plug into, let's say, a router or a rack or a switch and have someone configure it for me. That was the nature of the game. So that's in the past. I'll never. I even told them, forgive your enemies, but remember their names. To quote, John Fitzroy Kennedy, one of the best freaking presidents out there. I don't know why it's sort of like the freaking. I don't want to say like the Star Trek movies. Like every one that's like odd is like really bad, but all the other ones that are like even are really good. It's kind of the opposite. Like we had 35th president John Fitzroy Kennedy, 45th president fucking what's his name? Trump, right? Orange Man, the absolute fucking lion himself, the God Emperor of mankind. And now we have the even guy, which is fucking Biden, right? And before that, the even guy before him, who was it? Obama. Who was before that? Bush. And Bush, say what you will about Bush. Bush is like a godsend nowadays. Wolf says, companies lie to you. Don't be afraid to lie back and play the game. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I could lie and I can lie back, but I don't like lying. I'm a man of my word. And that's something that, I told them. I'm never going to hire you guys. I'm never going to work for you guys. And, I might make a jab at your fucking business every once in a while, but nothing that you can actually fucking go after me for. But fuck you guys, because this is wrong. It's yes, it's lawful, but it is awful. Okay, that's what I have to say about that. And I will say this: I told them I ain't gonna Californiaize your fucking Arizona, but if you keep playing this stupid dickhead games in the aggregate, and I'm talking about they do it to multiple people, they do it to multiple fucking people. You don't train them, you don't help them, you don't do anything. You just cut them loose. And like they're a number in your spreadsheet. You will have people who will fucking turn this right to work state into fucking California. It will happen, and it won't be because people want it. It's because they're gonna have to survive, and that's just the way it is. They have a life. They work to live. They don't live to work.
Could it just be that because of the economy right now, the white collar work is just more volatile?
It could very well be, but even then, like, there's a lot of things I could have said and a lot of things that could have been done. But what really got me was when HR said that, oh, I've been doing this for 5 years at this site. I'm like, oh, okay. And I check her freaking LinkedIn profile. And by the way, I'm not doxing when I'm actually just checking the credentials and sources, right? Only been there for 3 months. There you go. You can't even tell the truth of me in that regard. So, and I told them I had limitations, but they still let me go. So, Armored Ghost says, honesty is automatic disqualification for serving in the FBI. Yeah, they're allowed to freaking use subterfuge. They are allowed to lie to people. In fact, they are allowed to lie to get convictions.
Honesty towards
So-
what? Exactly.
Well, let me just say this. Did you or did you not have sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky? Well, can you define what you mean by alone? And that's the type of person we're dealing with. They're dealing with Clintonian levels of shit talking and trying to avoid the situation. But I guarantee you, if you go up to...
It's a way to publicly avoid perjury, which is outside the courtroom.
Yeah, and then there's like, I don't recall that, sir. I don't recall having that. You didn't deny it, you just don't recall it. So like, I don't remember, sir. I don't remember having sex with that woman. I had sex with a lot of women. But yeah, we're gonna get on to the show. But for those you want to know, that was actually that was an AI cover of "Still Alive" by the the late great Frank Sinatra, and I love Sinatra. You know, he's one of those singers that just grows on you.
Yeah, but
Wolf
RBC, is that the one where they take the audio and adjust it? Because that was some good music, like good instruments back there.
Oh, I think they actually added the instruments themselves. They didn't like AI that shit.
Because, well, I noticed there was a pitch in the song that I know Frank Sinatra would never make, but it was close enough.
It was close enough, right? And you can never really tell anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Armored Ghost says tech sector been more volatile. Other industries can't find enough bodies. Yeah, and you know what? I have an interview coming up, and I'm going to be working for. Let's just say I'm going to try my hand in blue collar work again because I want my freedom. Okay, I came here for very good reasons, and I'm going to show you the exact reason. Because I don't want to Californianize fucking Arizona, but you know, you do stupid shit, you win stupid prizes, and I can't go back. Here you go, Luke. This is from you could open this. This is the one I added, and the thumbnail itself. Like, if you could show the thumbnail for this, I don't know if you can, Luke. It's Gavin Newsom doing his best Gary Oldman Dracula impression.
It almost looks like a Bateman. What's his name?
Even Patrick Bateman.
Yeah,
the American Psycho.
Oh no, I'm thinking. Yeah, American Psycho. That's it.
Yeah, American Psycho, the guy who's the fucking meme machine himself. Like, I don't know why. Like, it was a 4chaner who originally showed me that fucking film. And I'm like, guys, don't show me that. And I can remember there was the scene where he, like, talks, like, oh, I'm going to help this poor homeless guy. He brings him all the way to the heights of, like, feeling he's going to get out of the gutter, and then he kills him, and then he kicks the dog. Because he's a piece of shit.
But right before he stabs him, he says, you know how useless you are.
Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit. It really
I'm afraid
is.
I got nothing in common with you, pal.
It's just this narcissistic
and then
supply.
there's the twist about the whole thing. Here we go. I think I might have the thumbnail right about here.
Yeah, there we go. That is Gary Oldman Dracula.
But as out of natural instinct, I don't smile exposing my teeth because I think there's something inherently creepy about it.
Well, it's also the fact that you're let's see, here we go. Like, it's the same look. It's the same exact look, Luke. It is the same. It is, like, I oftentimes say that when I came out of the fucking hellscape of California, it's the same. Look at that! He's a little meme machine. Look at that shit.
I mean, he's in the worst, and not like it's good in a Trump way, but like horrifying in this. Like, Newsom and Trump are like the polar opposites of memes.
Oh my god, it's like you're gonna put them over each other, and then you could like change the opacity or something, and they look the same. But play the clip. This is from a Copper Jacket TV, and this is what you have to deal with. This is why I say I'm an extremist when it comes to the Second Amendment, and by extension, I guess, the extremist when it comes to the First Amendment. Because
which is say you're obviously a liberal conservative / American liberal.
Well, yeah, that, and also the fact that I understand the things I can't change. I have the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know difference. So, for example, I oftentimes will tell people, don't censor pornography on the internet. Censor it on your own devices and take control of what your kids are looking at.
Yes.
You can do this. There's plenty of technology out there. We're going to get into some of that technology because some of this technology is incredibly invasive and some of it's pretty good. But again, you know, conservatives don't know how to encrypt. And I'm sorry that the right can't encrypt. The left can't meme, but the right can't encrypt, generally speaking. Yes, you could show me a leftist who knows about guns, but you're arguing the exception rather than the rule. Play the clip, Luke.
Okay.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today I've got an update for you in Miller v. Bonta, which currently sits in front of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. If you're not aware what Miller is, it is the challenge to California's so-called assault weapons ban. Well, it looks like the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is once again up to their same old games. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on, because it's not good.
It ain't good. In fact, I would borderline say it's unconstitutional what these fuckers are doing.
It's always unconstitutional. That's a given.
No, but like a right delayed is a right denied. I mean, they've already, like St. Benitez, say what you will about, Californians. A lot of Californians want to get their state back, but these motherfuckers are literally playing lawful evil lawfare shit.
And that's what James Lindsay's recent video is so important, is how to fight back by starting at the local beat winnable levels and then building up to that.
Oh, that's never going to happen, because all the people who are on our side, whether it be Sarnagun McCaw, Dave Rubin, or all of them, they won't fucking run for office.
Oh, no, I don't care about them. I don't care about them. I mean, we're actually doing the gritty work of actually winning at the local level. The actual, busy work, not trying to aim too high and miss, but aiming low and actually winning every time.
So you don't think that Dave Rubin could easily win an election for, like, school board or something like that?
Start lower. You need more momentum and numbers and support. If Larry Elder couldn't do it, then Dave Rubin couldn't do it.
Larry Elder is a whiny cuck. Like, he legitimately had reasons to question the Californian election with the guy who was, I think, caught in like San Diego with like I think a pound of cocaine and like a bunch of ballots in his fucking car with a pistol. I mean, come the fuck on.
You need more numbers and momentum.
Yeah. Well, you also need to have some fucking balls, cojones. And that's one of the things that I was told. I actually spoke to Brother John again. He hasn't been speaking to me probably because he thinks I'm a nervous wreck, which I kind of am, because I'm, on the verge of I'm close to the edge, let's just say. And, now is not the time to talk to people. Now is the time to act. And play it, Luke.
Support this channel and you're watching, you haven't yet subscribed to the Court of Appeals, is putting on a master class in how to screw over Californians when it comes to their constitutionally protected rights.
Again? When did they not do this?
And by the way, for those of you who don't understand this, you guys should understand that this precedent's being set in California will eventually leak over into other states. So it may be a battleground, but if you really want to get rid of the Californians, fight for the right to help take back their rights. Because again, I might lose my right to, drive a car because of DUI and shit, but I have a right to a gun, okay? It's in the fucking Constitution. I'm thinking to myself, I'd probably have to sell my Glock if I have to. If I must sell my Glock, right? If that's the case, I get a little extra money. But again, I'm gonna keep my AR, because that's the fighter rifle. That's the one that all the special forces, military. It doesn't matter if you're a cook, you will learn how to use a rifle in the military, because everybody is trained to be a rifleman.
Oh, wow. I'm distracting from the topic, but on the side, there's a video by Black Conservative Perspective that says, Black Democrats cry racist over ballot fraud over Republican governor winning state election. Wherever heard... There's just so much... schadenfreude from that.
I'm really sick and tired of black people being used as a political soccer ball. It's really disgusting. Keep playing it, Luke.
Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, being the most overturned appeals court in the entire country, never ceases to amaze. We know that they are activists. We know that what they're doing is just based off of their own personal agenda. Then they have shown that through Miller v. Bonta. We're talking about a case that started down at the district court level with Judge Roger T. Benitez. It went up to a 3-judge panel who agreed with Benitez the first time that he placed an injunction against his case. Then it was heard en banc. Well, en banc didn't care about both Benitez or the three...
If I'm going to how will Rogue take thug selfies without a Glock? I don't take thug selfies. I'll be taking it with my 1911, which is admittedly the gun that I have the most experience with. Mostly because I again, say what you will about the 45 being antiquated or whatnot. I have the most munitions for that. I'm just wanting to get into freaking 9mm, but even though it's cheaper, you still have to have money to buy stuff. So I would be using my 45. And even then, if it gets to the point where shit hits the fan, you're going to want to have an AR. You're going to want to have a rifle of some kind. Keep going.
Judge panel, they went ahead and reversed the injunction, so it goes up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, post-Bruin, decides to reverse and remand it back down to the Ninth. Now, the Ninth could have just taken it from there and decided, yes, this is clearly unconstitutional. We've heard it from multiple of our judges, as well as the district court judge. We can just handle it from here. But no, what did they decide to do? They decided to throw it all the way back down to Judge Benitez, who once again comes up with the same conclusion, stating that it is, in fact, unconstitutional. So it goes back up to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, because California obviously appealed this decision as well. Well, unlike Duncan, where they skipped the 3-judge panel, now it's being heard by a 3-judge panel at the Ninth Circuit. The great thing about it was, originally, is that it was supposed to be expedited. So they decided to expedite a case, which is very rare for the Ninth Circuit. They're honestly some of the best at delaying things and forever. I mean, the Ninth Circuit will delay as long as it can. So hearing that it had been expedited was actually
It's like playing against a blue-white Magic the Gathering control player. They will just delay. Fucking remand, fucking, counterspell. Same fucking thing. This is the new meta. If you guys will not help the Californians, and again, let them take back the state. I mean, Xi Jinping is coming to fucking San Francisco. For all I know, he's going to come in, march in with an army, and they're going to take to San Francisco. That'll be the fucking beachhead.
But at the very least, the homeless aren't going to be there anymore because they had to clear the place out for Biden's visit.
Which, funny enough about that fucking thing, they managed to clean up the city, and they've always bitched about, oh, we don't have enough resources. Well, now they have enough resources when Commie Chinaman shows up, right?
Yeah, it's almost as if he and Biden are friends.
Not even Biden, fucking Gavin, the motherfucking American psycho who he loves sucking. He loves. I don't even want to get started.
Didn't
with
he
that
recently
fucker.
go to China to talk about climate change?
He went to China and he beat little Chinese kids at basketball, which is not very hard given the fact that they're all Asians. And they're tiny people, and that's not me trying to bash Asians.
Oh, but it's okay. It's okay. A white guy is taking down a bunch of Asians. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's amazing the things that leftists can get away with.
Honestly, the problem here is that you have to be better than them. You can't play into their games. Like, I've heard some people like Bannon talk about, stuffing the ballots themselves and then saying, well, you did it, and then we get precedent, and then we have another 4 years of hell, which I can't take 4 years of hell anymore. I need a competent leader, and if you won't lead, you won't follow, you can get the fuck out of the way. You won't lead, you won't follow, get out of the way. The old saying, right? Keep playing it.
Oral arguments have been expedited to December 8th, so that means less than a month from now, we were going to hear oral arguments in this case. Well, guess what? Without any warning, without any reason, and just without any cause whatsoever, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has done it again, and they have delayed this case. So now, instead of being December 8th, we're looking at oral arguments on the week of January 22, 2024. So yeah, once again, they have moved this on. They changed the briefing schedule and everything. Let me go ahead and read you guys what they wrote. So it says here in the official court document, oral argument for this case is vacated. The court intends to schedule oral arguments during the week of January 22, 2024 in Pasadena, California. Appellee's motion to appear remotely is thus denied as moot.
So what's the case about?
The case is about getting rid of the assault weapon ban in California. There's a reason why I had an M1 carbine in a 1911, because you can't have an AR-15 that has a bunch of scary fucking features like having a normal fucking pistol grip on it. You can't have a collapsible stock, even though I would argue the most dangerous AR-15 you can get is a 20-inch barrel with a fucking regular stock and a bunch of other crap. You can't have a detachable magazine. You can only have 10 rounds in the fucking magazine.
Wait, so what makes this unconstitutional?
Because you can't limit people's right to defend themselves. These are common features on an AR.
Oh, so they're trying to bring it back or extend it or what?
The Ninth Circle, the Ninth Court of Appeals, the Ninth Circuit is trying to say, oh no, it's not unconstitutional. Oh, we know it's unconstitutional now, so we're going to basically push it out as far as we can. We're going to delay as much as we can.
So it's technically in force or it's not in force? What's this? What's the deal?
It's enforced. It's enforced still. And we had Freedom Week, right?
Oh, we can't. We know it's gonna fall apart, so we just gotta push it off as long as humanly possible. Gee, this sounds so familiar again.
It really is. All this has happened before, and all of it will happen again.
2020. It's just obvious. It's just like what do we say? What more else can we say?
Once the law is struck down in California, California will pass another law that has to be fought. They have done that before in the past. Yes, they have. They absolutely have. I mean, we're getting to the point where people are putting, locks physically inside the pistol grip, and then that way it has a lock in it, and it's not a functional lock, but it does have a lock. We're basically playing lawfare at this point, and it costs money. You don't have that kind of cash, But But the reason I had a 1911 and an M1 carbine is because it actually worked and it actually was effective for what I was using it for. I wasn't going out and going through the jungles of Nam with a 20-inch AR barrel, but at least for home defense, it was good. Keep playing.
In addition, the briefing schedule is modified as follows. The opening brief is due December 1st, 2023. The answering brief is due December 22nd, 2023. And the reply brief is due January 8th of 2024. Per the court's October 18th, 2023 order, the administrative stay shall remain in effect until the merits panel decides the appeal or issues an order lifting the stay. So you can see what they did right there. It seems like what they did is just delay it, but it was more than that. What they did is more of a two-prong approach. What they did is they delayed it till early 2024, and then they also extended the stay that is basically stopping the injunction from taking place. So they extended the stay, they drug everything out till early 2024 until that three-judge panel has a chance to hear oral arguments, look at everything once again, and determine whether or not to lift the stay, which would allow Judge Benitez's injunction to actually take place. But until that point, California's ban remains in effect. So again, they delayed it, they extended the stay, and screwed over Californians yet again. So the other thing you have to remember here is that after the three-judge panel actually has a chance to hear this, it can still go en banc, meaning that the full Ninth Circuit would take a look at this, and then the full Ninth Circuit would have time to delay some more, and then we might still even end up at the Supreme Court. So again, the Ninth Circuit has once again decided that they don't really care that this is a constitutional case that has been going on for a long time now. I mean, we're getting up to the 5-year mark now. So I think there needs to be something done. There needs to be a new law that says when it comes to constitutional challenges, right, where somebody's saying that a law that was created by a state or the federal government infringes on people's constitutional rights, there needs to be a time limit set so that this doesn't happen, so that we don't have cases go 5, 6, 7 years in court before people see any type of relief.
And you wonder why people are becoming criminals. Honestly, like any fool can make a rule, any fool can follow it. The real thing that pisses me off is why are all the lawmen protecting it? Why are they doing it? Why? Because because you see a crime. Why don't you look at it as unconstitutional and say, we know that Benitez, an actual a judge, has said it's unconstitutional. They put it up to the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit says you're full of shit. They send it back down. He says, no, it's unconstitutional. He sends it back up. They back and forth. At some point, like, imagine if this was like any other fucking law or any other thing. Most of the fucking laws would be like, we're not going to touch it. We can't convict you for anything. It's ridiculous. Like, the lawmen need to stand the fuck up and say, we don't care anymore. We really don't care. Like, if you're walking around with like AR-15s on your back or something like that, you deserve to get the eyes of the lawman put upon you. But if you're like legitimately trying to just exercise your Second Amendment rights and go out and shoot every other Saturday, let them do it. I don't know.
You are, as they say in Japanese, fucked from the head down to the knees.
Yeah, we're fucked, aren't we? And the thing that gets me is that everyone laughs at us, or laughs at Californians, but no one seems to understand that, as California goes, so does the nation. That's the old saying. And imagine what would happen if we had people actually, Californians actually loving the Second Amendment again. And I think a lot of them do, but it's these fucking crazy rulers, these archons, which we have to overthrow, Luke. We have to overthrow our archonic oppressors, or at least they do now, because it's not my fault. It's not my problem. Well, it is my problem because I'm a Second Amendment advocate at this point. And a right delayed is a right denied, right? So I don't know. Wolf says law enforcement officers are selected to obey orders and not think critically. They won't even hire officers with IQ over 100. This is true. You could look at, oh man, oh dear sweet Lord. That's another thing that pisses me off. Like, I'm slowly getting to the point where I'm not liking law enforcement. I'm not liking soldiers even, for that matter, because they just keep following orders and they know it's wrong, but they cling on to the law and order like it's a fucking, like it's a wet nurse. They cling on it like it's a wet nurse or a safety blanket, because they probably know that things could be a hell of a lot worse. But we need to introduce a little bit of anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos, and the thing about chaos, Luke? She's fair. She's fair. Yeah. And don't tell me you don't have the budget for this shit, because here you go, Luke. Leave California. Now, this is from Decoy Voice, another Californian who is basically saying, fuck this shit, I'm out. Eventually, you're going to have, the entire state basically just be nobody, SJWs, and all you're going to have is SJWs, and you're going to have people who are the middle class, people who want a little bit more money, people who want a little bit more, a better life for themselves, and even if they have like a no bad touch fucking hobby, right? Like fucking owning a gun. Oh, you can't have the 5th gen Glock because of spooky, scary skeleton features, right? Here you go, Luke. Leave California now, and I wanted to focus primarily on this part here. There we go. It's right at, I want to say, 2 minutes in.
2 minutes.
2 minutes in. Sorry if I'm being a little bit energetic, but thank you guys for interacting with the chat, man. There we go.
2 minutes and yes.
It's like fucking Night City, man.
Start on
Fucking
your
places
holiday
becoming-
shopping by
Keep going.
checking out Raycon's early Black Friday sales today by clicking the link in the description down below or go to buy. But the Oakland AM/PM isn't the only location getting hit recently, as another gas station got hit multiple times a week, where they have repairs of over $20,000 with no end in sight. As in Oakland, it's so bad that even when calling 911 to report a body, nobody answers. Unbelievable. As the city basically looks like a war zone. And just across the bridge in San Francisco,
Like fucking
it looks
Night
no better.
City. It's like it literally is like cyberpunk in this fucking motherfucker. The NPD, or the hell it's called, the Night City Police Department. They're corrupt. They're in the they're in the pockets of the corpos. And just like in Night City, you fucking aren't gonna get anybody's help. But at least in Night City, you could have a fucking shotgun and you could like chop your balls off or something, and then like get like a mechanical dick or something. You don't have that here. It's crazy, man. Just keep going. Keep going, Luke.
If not worse. But astonishingly, law enforcement is finally rounding up the homeless, where people are reporting parts of their city have been completely renovated. As they're bringing in miles of steel.
You mean to tell me that you could have fixed this up at any time? Oh no, not any time. Only when it was necessary. Only when we want to.
These people are slumlords. They're fucking slumlords, and we want to vote them out. They can never get voted out. I mean, I could tell you horror stories about this shit. I could tell you about Sheriff Laurie Smith, who, I shit you not, and again, for those of you who, oh, he's Californian, oh, whatever. At this point, I'm like the Meldabaneans. Like from fucking Elric. I kind of am in a lot of ways. I left the hellscape that everyone talks about. Even the fucking Romanians talk about the fucking California, because it's the land of cat people, right? And they're doing this shit. And they're literally like creating barriers, and it looks like a goddamn prison. It looks like a place from freaking Half-Life 2. Look at that. Keep playing it.
Gates that block off the streets from the citizens to create nothing short of a dystopian nightmare.
Half-Life 2 would be plentiful. This is Cyberpunk.
It's not even, no, Cyberpunk, they didn't have fucking gates and shit like that. And even then, why would you just get yourself reinforced tendons and jump over them? Shit.
That suddenly has plenty of law enforcement resources. As the New York Post states it for a visit from Chinese President Xi, and the local NPC reports on both local and federal law enforcement presence, with a massive security force, no-go zones, and roadblock checkpoints. As the police chief states that they will not tolerate any crime, including property destruction.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp. BART doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often. It's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares. And city officials are saying that there are no additional funds that are being allocated for beautification. Departments are just using existing budgets.
So what a slap in the face to anyone that pays taxes in the Bay Area. They've been suffering.
Yeah, and you still pay taxes. I gotta pay taxes. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking pay them, but God will provide. Because, one of the things I've realized, and this is something that I realized when I was in the fucking, when I was in the hotel at the time when they were renovating, because they were renovating my apartment at the time that was in California during a pandemic, no less, which is I just piggy, fuck piggy. I'm in there and I'm watching Dune of all places. I'm thinking, yeah, let's go to the desert. Let's go to the desert. The spirit must awaken, right? And I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries to fuck with Xi Jinping. I really like. You know what I'm gonna do? Show up as Winnie the Pooh. Just show up as Winnie the Pooh, cosplay as Winnie the Pooh, and see if he fucking notices. Just show up as Winnie the Pooh. Like I kind of want to just go back just to fuck with him, because he started a fucking global pandemic, and we're cleaning the fucking the street like he's scared of COVID or something. Why would you allow someone like that? Are we even going to acknowledge the fact that we're at war with these assholes? That these bastards are basically just destroyed the world that we know it? I mean, post, this is like the worst fucking timeline we're in.
Like it's like,
I mean,
it's
for
like
me, it's kind of cool.
It's like if Chernobyl didn't actually collapse the Soviet Union.
It's insane. It really is insane. Armored Ghost says Oakland is truly awful now. Sad. I'm not sure about Alameda. I get out where you can, man. Get out where you can, Ghost. You got to get out, because I'll tell you this. A lot of my friends, a lot of some of them are SJWs, all right? And because I've known them for so long, since fucking middle school, and even in some cases, fucking 5th grade, I told them they wanted to go to Maine. One of them wanted to go to, I guess, to Salem, Massachusetts, right? And they hate guns. But they were going to export their ideas. I said, why would you ever do that? You literally are in San Jose. You're in the place that actually has gun control at the city level, and you're going to leave? You're in the safest part of the fucking place. Stay there. Yeah, and it sucks. It really does suck. And, again, it's not us. It's not the Californians. It's the goddamn the Soviet boomers. The fucking boomers are the problem. Gavin Newsom. Like, if you, Luke, I don't know if you could pull it up. I could probably pull it up. But if you look at Gavin Newsom's family, the motherfucker looks like a wasp. Like, he literally looks like he is, like he's posing for a Hallmark card. I'll see if I can keep playing it.
As in the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, or the incest?
Yes. Both. Both. And he doesn't have a queen. He just stings people because he's an asshole. Yeah, keep playing it.
From rampant crime and homelessness plaguing their streets for over a decade now. And apparently, they easily could have eliminated all of it, essentially overnight, saying they had the money and resources to do it the entire time. They just never got around to it. But now that they have cleaned it up, here's a giant metal gate to make sure you can't get in. Welcome to the Deep Blue Bay Area, where you get to be...
That looks just like the official government building after the election. Except their gate is actually cemented into the ground.
This is what they stole from you, and this is what they're preventing from having. And honestly, like, look at this shit. And before people start saying, "Oh, he's bashing white people," these are the type of white people who need to get the fuck out. And I'm not gonna go on a fucking anti-white rant or whatever. I don't want to do that. This is what they're not letting you have. I mean, for fuck's sake, they have a goddamn rabbit. They have a rabbit. There's 2 rabbits. No, they have 2 rabbits. They have fucking, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, a dog. Come the fuck on. They stole this from you.
They're living a conservative lifestyle, for crying out loud. How is this even feasible?
Well, it's easy. You just you kneecap everyone else, and you basically declare yourself a feudal overlord. Because that's what California has become. It's a feudal state. It's a goddamn feudal state.
You guys voted for this. You wanted this, and look what you got. You became the thing that you
didn't vote for it, though.
Against.
They didn't vote for it, though. That's the fucking thing that's so sad. They didn't vote for it. I mean, you look at what's happening with the Ninth Circuit. You really think that even if they did vote for it, they would honor what the will of the people? No, they're not going to honor the will of the people. They're assholes, dude.
California disgusting. I know Neil Blomkamp talks about how Elysium is a denunciation of political eliteness, but California is Elysium, for crying out loud.
No, it's not. Elysium, I know you're talking about the movie with Matt Damon, but Elysium is the Elysium Fields. It's the place where the Romans go to rest. It's the Roman heaven. It's the Elysium Fields, right?
Well, Elysium is in the movie. I'm not talking about the Roman heavens. Because that's what he ironically complains about, because you don't get closer than California streets.
It's sad. I can only say, my heart goes out to those people and the people who live there.
Because in that movie, the elites have access to free healthcare and free everything, and they just don't. And they are literally not sharing it, because they literally could afford to share it, and they just don't.
Yep, because how else are they going to be able to incentivize workers by creating artificial scarcity? And even if you were to start your own business, you'd be smothered by a bunch of policies that don't apply to you but apply to everybody else. It's hell on earth. And I'm not going back. I would rather be homeless in Arizona than be homeless in California. And I'd rather, be the police at least call and they come and they're swift. You even saw it in the clip before, Luke. They literally are taking hours to just respond. I got punched in the face by a murder hobo in fucking California.
Right.
It took me 3 hours. 3 hours for the police to show up. This is literally a plot point in fucking, one of the side stories in Cyberpunk. It literally is. It's crazy. You still there, Luke? I got you. But yeah, I mean, even Styx Hexenhammer, as much as I don't like his fucking bird friend, right, and his avian antics, he at least fucking is calling it what it is, a Joe Pumpkin town. He had his own little thing about how back in, I want to say, the 1500s or like medieval times or whatnot, you'd have the Queen of Spain go around the country to see what the state of her kingdom would be. And they would literally like build a makeshift town that makes it look nicer than it actually is. It's insane. This is crazy. Anyone who fucking keeps enabling it, don't vote for these people. Don't vote for them. They don't have our interests. They don't have our interests at all, and they don't have your interests either. Armored Ghost says, but if you're homeless in California, you could always steal what you want. Just limit it to $950. Yeah, well, no, and I'll be frank with you. There's a way around that. Just simply make it everything $1,000 plus, and then give them a $950 discount afterwards. And that's how they would do it. And you have to play these games with these people. You have to show them what the consequences of their actions are. And now that we all see that these motherfuckers had the resources the entire time. Let's suppose, for the sake of argument, they were just massively redistributing the resources. They still they still have the resources. There's no excuse now. So get ready for endgame, Californians, because if you're letting the Xi Jinping motherfucker, Winnie the fucking Pooh, walk in Pooh Town, what do you think? Like we're getting to the point where it's endgame. We're getting into endgame territory.
For a very little breed, you sure are sweaty.
What is that from?
Winnie the Pooh.
I fucking hate Winnie the Pooh. I really do hate him. I hate him. He destroyed the world. It's his fat ass fault. And, fuck, to hell with him and everyone like him. Or, well, everyone who thinks like him. I don't want to... They're not all the same, even though they're drawn that way. Wolfram Pepper says, what I hate most about human society is it's almost all games and lies and politics is that times 100. Yeah, 1,000, I should say. Yeah, I'm kind of being dyslexic simply because I'm not getting enough fucking food and whatnot. I'm kind of jumpy, if that makes any sense. But at least our political betters on the left and on the alternative mainstream media, they know what's going on. Mm-hmm. There you go, Luke. Here we go.
What's this about?
I look at these people. And I know these motherfuckers have resources. They have a platform. They can easily find someone like Carrie Lake. And by the way, I love you, Carrie. I love you. I wish I could talk to you. I wish I could have you on my podcast. I really would love to. I'd have a lot of stuff to talk to you about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to happen for a while.
No, but they can make little fucking, collaborative videos about this shit as the world burns and as they fucking line their goddamn pockets. Keep in mind, I think Jordan Peterson would be great for a actual running for office in Canada for, director of or Ministry of Education. He would easily make it. He would easily be able to be qualified. He has the experience. He's the fucking not a Harvard director or.
But does
Harvard,
he have the numbers and the momentum?
You keep saying he does have the numbers and the momentum. I mean, fuck's sake, he has 7 million subscribers.
And as Sargon of Akkad points out, that doesn't matter.
Well, Sargon of Akkad is a piece of shit who damn well has tried and failed, and he won't try again because he's a fucking loser. That's why. He's a fucking pussified Brit. Here you go, Luke. Play this. Froggy fucker.
For the love of God, man, I want to be a resentful taco delivery boy. There's a real hell on earth. You know, I had a guy come up to me.
We'll drink and drink and drink till that's all we can drink. Save his love, and now the universe. Philosophical notions.
You left yourself an absolute mess.
The shuffle was a genuine pervert, and it made him awful sad. He invented philosophical doctrines designed to drive us all quite mad. Critical racists now annoy us. They accuse and satirize, multiplying.
And they can only... I mean, look at this shit, dude. They have Dave Rubin, they have Michaela Peterson, they have all these people collaborating with this shit. If only... You can't tell me they can't find a candidate. The reason they can't find a candidate is because they're all in their own echo chamber, and they won't let anyone else have that platform. You know, I think there was Chris Archie, I believe his name was. He was a Canadian RuneScape YouTuber. He made his own little side channel where he would have other content creators, you know, post. Of course, they'd send him the clips, and he would vet them and edit them and whatnot. And, you know, PKing in the wilderness, you could get your start that way. They won't do that here. They won't, you know, say, hey, I'm going to platform somebody who I don't agree with, and I'm going to let him make a documentary for like 30 minutes tops or 45 minutes tops, just to get an idea of what the market of ideas is all about. They won't do that. They won't entertain anything that doesn't suit them and they can't make a buck off of. It's sad. It really is sad. Keep playing.
We cut them down to size. All he did was demonize.
Ben Shapiro. That was not Aaron Clary, thank God. I actually had to double check that. Because Aaron Clary would not be fucking playing the piano. He would be playing the drums, or he'd be playing the fucking guitar or the bass.
Speaking of Ben Shapiro, I saw that cartoon. Finally saw that cartoon on his Ben Key channel called Chip Chilla.
Chip Chilla. Oh, okay. Well, the one that he purchased, you mean?
I purchased or made because Rob Schneider starring in it.
That motherfucker is becoming more and more base. But even, let's be frank with ourselves. Conservatism in this day and age has become out for Hollywood elites to basically say, oh, I was persecuted. It wasn't because I was... Like, wait till, I guarantee you, 2025, Kevin Spacey will come out as conservative. No, I'm not kidding. He'll say all the things that you guys want him to hear, and nothing will change. Nothing will change. And the thing that just upsets me about this whole scenario is that, again, you have the resources, you have the platform, fucking act. That's all you have to do. And if you're not going to act, find someone who will. Go around town, go to these places and find the people who will do it. Whether it be Larry Elder, Kerry Lake, or even some of the people who I knew in San Jose who were actually running for office. But they won't. They won't. It's stupid. It is just stupid. They're shooting themselves in the foot over and over again. Wolfman says, he already said that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ghost says, the AEPEC event in San Francisco is very strange. It's literally the government and the foreign Poles locking themselves in certain areas, just like the National Guard did in DC after the you know what.
That which will not be named.
Brother, hey, brother, it's been too long. It has been too long. Welcome, my friend, my brother. Say hello to my bro, frickin' Ray. Not Ray Skywalker, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, since we're talking about brothers and Latin American people, have you heard about Pablo? Pablo Lucas?
Pablo? No.
No. Oh, you don't know about this. This is the correct response, by the way, when you deal with people who.
Oh no, this guy.
This George Lucas is not happy. He's becoming a gunslinger.
George, I just saw that.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff that has been. I've been gone for too long. It's like when I don't make a video, the world goes to shit, and then I do make a video, the world goes to shit slowly but surely.
Like seriously, like I've always thought that at moments like this, the protesters would have the decency to just back away, but no, that doesn't scare them until it's too late. It's like no one takes anything seriously and someone dies.
Here you go, Luke. Play the audio of this. This is my first thought when I saw this. I didn't even know they allowed Glocks and firearms in Panama.
He's American though, right?
No, he's a Panamanian.
So where is he from? I thought he was visiting.
I don't think he is visiting. I don't think he is, but you know, how'd you get a gun in the country? Get this shit out of the road. And again, I have to stress this: blocking roads is legitimately something that if they do this shit in Arizona, the police will be on you faster than fly on shit. Okay, they will literally be on you because you're delaying traffic, you're delaying supplies that could be medical, you're delaying ambulances, you're delaying so much. And yes, the correct response. Here you go, Luke. I sent you another one. Play this, the audio, please. There you go.
Audio. What's this?
And play the audio with the video.
The guy should have done was just shoot his car motor, or shoot his tires.
Oh no! Don't shoot the tires. Shoot the protesters.
Because what's blocking the way? Gotta move blocking the way somehow.
Well, the guy who was blocking the way.
I mean, he has an army to help move the stuff away. The guy was a lone gunman.
Yeah, but the guy who was running. Yeah, but again, it's the principle behind it. These people were blocking traffic. They were blocking, ambulances. They were blocking supply and aid and all this crap. It's a fucking crime. It's a legitimate fucking crime against humanity. It could be argued even because, between our speech and the laws we have for our mail and whatnot. I mean, imagine if a mail truck tried to get through. Then all hell would break loose, wouldn't it? Because the mail is very protected. You fuck with the U.S. mail, you are literally good. There are so many felonies. I mean, we don't even get to misdemeanors. We just go straight to felonies with that shit. But Pablo fucking decided to unload on those motherfucking commie bastards.
Indeed.
And God bless him. God bless Pablo Lucas. Wolfgren says the protesters are about a mine that can seize land. And it's important to note that the mood in the room about what people thought was happening. Oh, so it wasn't actually climate protests. It was about protesting a mine.
Oh yeah, the creation of a mine. That's what it was for.
Yeah, even though that would create jobs and shit, right? So they're basically saying you're raping Mother Gaia. How dare you? You're literally stealing the diamonds from her bosom. And then he just shoots the fucker, which beautiful. I'm surprised they didn't just jump his ass right then and there. I mean, he has a baby Glock. He only has maybe 5 or 6 shots in it, single stack maybe, because it's a concealed carry weapon.
So somewhere right about here, or right after, it's gonna stop in just a minute, and that's where it all takes off.
Yep, he decides to shoot 2 of the protest demonstrators, which is the correct response. I'm sorry, you're literally blocking traffic. You're literally preventing people from having access to health care.
Should just tase them.
No, you don't tase them. Get them out of the fucking road, no matter what happens.
Tase them unconscious and then move them out of the way.
Yeah, but they're not going to be unconscious. That's not how that works. You've never been tased, have you?
No.
You haven't been tased. I've been tased.
So...
The government gave the mine the ability to take the land from people without compensation or something along those lines. Yeah, that is fucked up, but even then, don't block the roads. Don't block the roads. You're being a dick. Instead, what you do is you march down to the Capitol, and then you block the Capitol roads. That way, you actually punish the proper people.
Yeah, because they're just harming the working class. If these guys are just Marxists as they are, or the workers of the working people, they're hurting the people, not the government.
It's insane. And then, of course, the right wing is realizing how evil these motherfuckers actually are. Here we go, Luke.
I'm actually surprised the reaction was so tame. Like, he pulls a gun, and I think, oh, he's not going to shoot us. Like, dude, he has a gun. Why aren't you backing away?
And it doesn't and the safety is built into the trigger, so if he pulls that trigger, it goes bang, because it's a goddamn Glock, don't you know?
Oh, brother.
And then, of course, Michael Knowles is pussyfooting around the fact that we're dealing not just with political leftists, but spiritual leftists as well. Spiritual leftists who are willing to sacrifice children to their their volcano gods.
If only they were that kind.
No.
There's a really troubling video that just came out. It's troubling because it sheds light on evil things that go on in our world that we want to deny. But I kind of like the video in that it sheds light on evil things that go on in our world that a lot of people want to deny. This is of a witch describing how she performed.
Son of a witch. I like that.
She's not even a witch, dude. Stop giving them the fucking points. Don't give them the benefit of having that title.
Son of a witch.
No, but he's calling her a witch. He's calling her a witch.
No, son of a witch.
Oh, a son of a witch. Oh, okay. Well, maybe she's maybe a warlock.
Only she identifies as a man, of course.
Rituals through her abortions.
How to practice abortion as a magical ritual. Part 1. My qualifications for teaching this: I'm a witch who has had abortions and has used them.
You should go to Hogwarts. No, you went to.
And
she went to a
magic and death magic simultaneously. If you are a womb body who has made the decision to have an abortion, keep in mind that there is death and there is life. There has been a conception.
No, there's only death.
There is only death, and you went to a party magic college. Let's be frank with ourselves. You didn't go to Hogwarts. You didn't go to Strixhaven. You went to fucking a party magic college.
I mean, they're all insane. There's no party college. They're all insane. These are people who worship the devil and chaos.
Well, yeah, I mean, why do you think the God Emperor is such a fucking meme? Why do you think the Lotus Eaters will do a whole spiel about fucking? They'll do a whole spiel about why Warhammer is such an interesting cautionary tale, but at the same time, Slaanesh is a thing. Yeah, we've all seen the Slaaneshi fucking the Slaaneshi story hour with kids, right? Where they'll literally dress up like a demon of Slaanesh, and then they'll fucking read stories to children.
And keep in mind, they have galaxy and state enforced atheism, which I guess you kind of have to because no one would want to be an atheist.
They don't have galaxy enforced atheism. They don't.
What do they have the police for? What do they have the Inquisitors for? Or the Crusaders for?
Okay, so do you know the story of Warhammer, real quick?
That's what I understood it to be.
So the God Emperor tried to enforce atheism, but what happened was humans needed something to worship. It's just part of their condition, and they ended up worshiping the gods of chaos as a result. And then what happened was, the God Emperor explains to a select few of people what was actually going down, and it turns out that they thought he was a god. And then, ironically, it's similar how the atheists will fetishize Dawkins and what the hell's his name? The other guy. What the fuck is the British guy?
Sam
what
Harris?
The fuck is his name? Not Sam Harris. The other one. The one with the posh accent. The one who's always drunk. That guy.
The dead one.
The dead one. Christopher Hitchens. Now imagine if we actually deified Christopher Hitchens and started worshiping him, and he didn't want to be worshipped.
Boring compared to the God Emperor.
Yeah, but even the God Emperor, he's still technically alive, but he's kept alive by sacrificing people like this witch to keep him alive a little bit longer, right? I hate how much 40k lore I know. Yeah, I'm sick of it too, because the whole thing is a cautionary tale. Don't let 40k happen, right? Keep playing it.
Life that has been conceived. For me, I look at the abortions I've had as workings. So just like you would go...
No, it's just the conceived life you murdered. That's all it is. Just death.
It's just blood magic, baby. That's all it is. And say what you will about blood magic. When you kill someone and you're willing to kill something, that actually has weight to something. People who, look at the people who's fought for the Constitution, right? People who have bled in Okinawa, Iwo Jima, and places like that, right? They actually laid down their lives for an ideal.
Well, they sacrificed their own lives, not other people's lives.
Well, they killed a bunch of Japanese people all along the way, didn't they?
Well,
and they were dying for their emperor.
I mean, the Tree of Liberty is from time to time is watered with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
Well, yeah, but they still killed someone. The difference here is it wasn't a sacrifice so much as it was a sacrifice of our time and energy, and in some cases the sanity of those poor boys who actually had to live with the deeds that they did. All right. Keep playing it.
Well, I don't think the same emotional pain is for World War II as it is for the Civil War. That was a monster.
Yeah, Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, corn doesn't care where the blood comes from as long as the blood is spilt, right?
Through a spell and do things in a very specific order. You would lay things out in a very specific order, because how we do our rituals and our work.
Thank you so much for getting rid of God, new atheist. Oh wait, people just became witches. Ugh, this is so. Well, why is this person? This person should not exist. It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, brother. You don't use my real name. My real name. Like I'm at the point where I'm not going to show my face ever again online. I'm not going to come out of. I'm going to continuously change my freaking avatar as days go by. But I'm never going to put my face out there anymore. You guys can use your imagination for what I actually look like.
My only objection is I don't look nearly as cool as my avatar.
You look like Jesus, dude. No, keep playing it and finish it up.
In our spell castings, the order that we do them in is the order they play out in the physical, when the magic really kicks in, and our spirits that we've called on say it's time.
Does she actually believe this, or is she just playing it for laughs? Is this real?
I think she's doing it for clicks, dude.
Yeah.
I really like a lot of these motherfuckers. They don't believe half the shit they don't believe their own BS. They don't believe their own belief system. They just use it as an excuse to get away with whatever they want.
Oh, like Democrats and global war and climate change.
Exactamente, brother. Why are you so skeptical of my GF? Don't bring that up now, brother. Don't do that. No,
so if we look at it,
that's another can of worms.
And conception ritualistically, there's a life that has been conceived.
So this witch is willing to admit something that most mainstream liberals will not admit. Most pro-abortion, regular liberals will not admit, namely, that abortion obviously ends a life. It wouldn't be abortion otherwise. And she says further that the abortion is not merely a physical action, because we're not merely physical beings, it's a spiritual action. And this witch, who does witch stuff, who worships and communes with demons, at least in her own mind, she thinks she's doing that, she says obviously the power of life and death is used in a ritual. And people are going to listen to this and they're going to say, man, these young people, they're really into some weird stuff. This new age, weird, hippy-dippy, this is crazy. But it's not new. This isn't new at all. This has been going on for all of human history. The thing that is new is denying that this exists.
No, what's new about this shit's been going on since the 1960s and 70s, and I want to say it all went to a peak in 1988. And the reason why is because, and I'm going to continuously criticize the right on this, because they keep saying that communism is a religion. Wait till they fucking take May Day off as a religious holiday. I'm not kidding. And if you say, "Oh, I'm a communist," you can't.
They will never ever do that. They can't do that.
Why not?
Because it means that they acknowledge that socialism, Marxism are religions, and therefore they won't have the right to be taught in school.
Well, don't they want to teach the Bible in school? Don't the conservatives want to teach their version of the religion in their schools?
But they can't. But they can. Therefore, it would also apply to the Marxists.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you're going to teach values, right? Values are, again, like sex is sacred, right? That's a value.
Yeah, can't do that in school.
You could teach it anthropologically. You could show that, like, the Kama Sutra. You could show,
there's no grounding for teaching of values in schools, because there's a YouTube channel that talks about that called Wise Disciple that pointed out that what we're missing in schools values, but the way school is structured, because values technically fall into the religious category, therefore they technically can't be taught.
Right. That makes sense. That kind of makes sense. But even then, like, let's say that they decide to, they call it a religion. Well, now you can't fire communists anymore, because now that's religious discrimination. Do you really want to open this can of worms?
Can't teach them in school, though. That's the point.
Yeah, but you can't discriminate against people who are there.
Communists can't get employed. They suck.
Leftists don't obey the rules. The rules are for you. Exactly.
They just want rules so they can break them.
Exactly. And it's transcendent, don't you know? It's liberating. Throwing off your archonic oppressor is liberating.
Ugh.
And even fucking Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, I as much as people like to bash Glenn Beck, he is one of the few sane people I actually can trust in this whole shit. Now NPR's promoting witchcraft, apparently. There you go, Luke.
What?
Yep, it's going to be spiritual leftism versus spiritual right. And the problem here is the spiritual right will not listen to the spiritual left for very good reasons. But in doing that, they open themselves up to be tricked. Again, to quote, Robert Anton Wilson, my mentor, my former patron, if that makes any sense. Don't buy into anyone's BS or belief system, and if you can, don't buy into your own BS either, or belief system. Here you go, Luke.
What's this?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, happy Halloween to you. And I've got some scary stuff for you today. Scary.
Too spooky
Now,
for me?
This
maybe too spooky for me.
may come as a surprise to you.
My Teflon soul will endure. I'm curious.
But I learned this from NPR. Witches are real, and witches are liberal. Politically, okay? Now, it's no surprise, really, if you want to think about it, really no surprise at all that, witches are liberal, and NPR would run a fluff piece about witches. The segment featured a writer who devoted an entire year of her life to witchcraft. Now, does that work out? Well, here's NPR. Have a listen.
Witches have long cast a spell on American entertainment, but they aren't just a figment of our imagination. Witchcraft is a real practice, and people who practice witchcraft are all around you. But what does it even mean to be a witch? I mean, how does one begin this spiritual journey into the occult? Well, one writer decided to figure that out for herself, spending an entire year as a practicing witch.
Okay, so let me just say, what does it mean?
Isn't this our tax dollars and viewers like you going into this?
Yeah, I've told people it's the spiritual left. You are dealing with the spiritual leftists. These are the people who sit on the left hand of God's hand. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the spiritual leftists.
Although, to be fair, this is something they've been doing for a while. I can't get too mad at that. But thank you for the fire.
No, dude, I'm at the point where I just want to go after every spiritual leftist. I like even Sticky Man. Sticky Man's gonna have to go down because it's easy to go with him. Just say, you worship the bird from you hang out with the bird from Hell of a Boss. I don't know what you do with your wife and kids with the bird of the Hell of a Boss.
I mean,
given his fucking
he has the Oberos.
appetites.
His logo is the Oberos with a Oberos with snake with the Oberos fetus inside of it.
Don't give the motherfucker points.
No, that's what he does. He's always had that. I never knew that, and I never noticed that until recently.
Really? You didn't notice that?
I didn't know what an Oberos was.
It's a virus. And unfortunately, we're getting total saturation on this motherfucker. Slowly but surely. I don't know, keep going.
How do you even decide to look into a religion? But how are they so oblivious? Listen to this.
Month 7, before I tried to make a connection with the goddess, who is a central figure in almost every form of witchcraft. Whether or not she's a real deity up in the sky or she's a metaphor for the interconnectedness of everything on Earth, there's this idea of the goddess. And I was hesitant around it because I didn't want to feel like I was playing make-believe. Again, this goes back to just being so afraid of feeling stupid. So I go and I set up this ritual to try and talk to a particular goddess. And I'm by myself in my office in Oakland. I'm sitting in front of an altar that I made out of a cardboard box. I have a Strangers playlist going on Spotify. My cat is on the other side of the door staring at me. And after about an hour, something happened.
What happened?
I just suddenly felt flooded with bliss.
She was flooded with bliss. She was flooded with bliss. So something happened. Flooded with bliss. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe possessed by a demon. I don't know. Is that the bliss?
No, Glenn, you poor soul. You don't know how to deal with this type of shit. You need to send in hunters to deal with these type of people. You need to send in professionals. Send me into the fucking fray. I will make sure I will collect every fucking scalp from these heretics.
But I want to know what her answer was because she does. But I want to know bliss of what because he just cuts off there, and I don't know if he says anything after that.
Well, maybe we might have to go into the NPR article in a later date here, because that might be our thing. Because guess who's doing the same shit, and guess who? Yeah, here you go, Luke. Play it.
What's this?
Same fucking people.
Starhawk and all those people again.
Yep, the fucking same spiritual leftists, and I guarantee you there are people in the counterculture. I'm looking at you, Venti, who are into this type of shit, and you have to push them aside. You have to tell them, okay, are you with us or against us? Are you with the El Shaddai or are you with the fucking spiritual leftists? Because you can't stay with both. You can't be here with both of us. Because, again, politics is downstream from culture, and we're in a fight for our lives, for our culture. And these fucking heretics are, they're shitting everything up. They're basically saying, we're going to kill our kids and it's going to be protected under religious freedom. No. You don't get to fucking kill human beings for your volcano god. If the people in the Wicker Man can't do it because it's illegal, they killed a fucking cop for their volcano god, for their goddamn apple bottoms. Here you go, Luke. Play it. It's 43 seconds.
I think one of the reasons why people fear the word witch so much is that it brings up ideas about women's power and for 5,000 years or longer, we have been propagandized really to fear women's power, to fear female power, to see it.
No,
as
we
something
haven't.
negative.
Fuck you. And who's we, by the way?
What
who's
universe is this coming from?
It's coming from the critical race. It's coming from critical theory, dude.
No,
just
but
bash
this
Christianity.
This is so. I've been to public school my entire life, and I have no idea what she's talking about.
You weren't in public school in California.
Well,
I
to be
was.
fair,
There were so many
recorded,
people.
This was made in the what? In the 80s?
In the 80s, and this is not our first rodeo, sir.
What's that? Oh, here's a new video. Oh, and on the side, Star Hanks from 2 years ago. Nice Jewish girl grows up to be a witch. Should I play that?
Oy vey. Oy vey. It's almost like you people need God, you need Jesus especially, because otherwise you're going to start worshiping Canaanite deities and killing your kids.
I mean, it's not the first time the Jews turned away from their God.
You know, say what you will about the Jewish faith, at least the tradition keeps them from fucking acting like dickheads. Because you become like this bitch here.
Because otherwise you get people like Karl Marx.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a nightmare. It's a nightmare of epic proportions.
I heard or read once a byline that said, Starhawk, nice Jewish girl, grew up to be a witch. Can you fill in that timeline and tell us a little bit about what you're...
This
Jabba the Hutt.
I don't know how recent this is, but this was posted 2 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
Jewish heritage means to you today? How it applies to your spirit?
Oh, no. She had access to the Kabbalah. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was raised in a family where my grandparents were Orthodox and my parents were sort of the generation that rebelled. But I wanted to go to Hebrew school from the time I was very young, and I was very interested in all those questions around religion. And so,
and for those who don't realize, like Brother Nathaniel's kind of making a YouTube comeback, but he's taking out all the anti-Semitic stuff out.
You know, we might have to team up with Brother Nathaniel on this one, and we have to warn him about Dugan as well, because because as much as I'm not kidding, the fucking spiritual leftists are closing in. That's what scares me about this stuff, and they're using, and again, for the record, Dianic Wicca and all these other Wiccan sects are very much heavily influenced by feminism, to the point where you can make the argument that they're just feminism with religion, religious protection.
Although I have a more optimistic take, I think they're panicking because we know we're calling them out, and so they're trying to boost the propaganda as much as humanly possible, make it look normal.
Yeah, but the problem here is that you have Glenn Beck and Michael Knowles basically saying, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna entertain these people as actually what they say they are." And I say, the only way you could beat these people is to basically pickle the beast. If they're like some sort of magical creature, go in with Pia flyers and kick their fucking face in.
Not to mention the contradiction that will occur when they have because one of the benefits of having influencing entertainment and education is that they reinforce each other, and only attacking the entertainment may or may not actually influence the education.
Laugh at them, because if you I think it was what the hell is his name? Alan, You're a Wizard, Harry Moore, right? He said if you cast a satire on someone, it could destroy them. And one of the ways, don't be like this girl. This is your future. If you try to be like I'm a cute little hedge Wiccan or something like that, this is your future. This is your fat, overweight, ugly-looking fucking hag. And again, you want to be a maiden forever? You're going to be a maiden forever if you stick with the Christians. You'll be like this fat old ogre right here.
I had a very good Hebrew education in mostly conservative schools. I went on to the University of Judaism after school while I was still in high school. I was bat mitzvah, and it's still very much, I think, part of who I am and part of my ancestry and my heritage to draw on that really, really rich Jewish tradition. But as I got into high school, it was the 60s. There was all this excitement about new ideas and new age thinking and Eastern religions, and I started exploring.
Which are old ideas repackaged to a modern audience.
Yep. And I was getting in a fight with a guy on the internet talking about how the Bhagavad Gita is bullshit, right?
Oh, I've read it. You've read it, right?
Yeah, no, I haven't read it, but I've listened to it. I mean, I listen to shit more than I read.
It is fascinating. It assuming from an outsider looking in, here's what it does. It justifies killing on the grounds that people get reincarnated in conflict, and conscious objection is not an option.
Oh yeah, you just kill them, dude. They respawn like in Call of Duty. You can't kill Hindus.
It's already happened in the future, so your goal is to enjoy it to the fullest. Like, geez, that's I can't imagine any occult group would actually take that to their advantage.
well, they also smother shit on each other, right? In the fucking back of Akita, they get magical powers by smothering Brahmin shit on themselves.
I don't remember that part. It's a narrative about a man having a military leader having moral conscience attack by attacking these. There was a question of authority in the crown and who gets the crown, and so this general is having a moral dilemma about killing these people who has been his friends and family.
And then God shows up as an Uber driver and basically shows him the ways of the Force, and
apparently he's the incarnation of Krishna or whichever that is, and he apparently failed to reach a negotiation, and so he's saying he's siding with the one side to give him guidance.
Oh, it's disgusting. These people are fucked in the head. They're some of the most fucked people I've ever encountered. Alrighty, let's see what else we got.
Starhawk, a 2-year-old video called "What We Could Possibly Do" in a channel called Post Carbon Institute.
Let's do it. Let's
see. What
we have tremendous needs to belong to something, to feel like we have agency, to feel like we can make an impact on the world. We can make a contribution to our community.
Welcome to What Could Possibly Go Right, a project of the Post Carbon Institute. We interview cultural scouts, people who see far and serve the
there she is.
So I'm Vicki Robin, your host, sponsored by Post Carbon Institute, and here's the interview with Starhawk. Hi, and thank you, Starhawk.
The green screen does not help.
The green screen does not help, and at the same time, she has the crazy hair, and she's
a witch. She is the stereotypical witch. She just needs a black pointy hat.
This is cultural appropriation, technically. I mean, let's be frank with ourselves. The actual witch, here's the thing about paganism. There's no way to actually buy in. I could just declare myself a witch right now, and none of you can say otherwise. I mean, I've often talked about how if I actually were to get into paganism and crap like that, I'd have to go and hang out with fucking the Europeans in Scandinavia, help them with the harvest and stuff like that, and basically be an anthropological journey almost. Like if I were to live with the Bushmen in Africa, these people aren't doing it. They're just saying, "Oh, I'm a witch now. I went down the Hot Topic and I got myself a pentacle." That's what you're dealing with. And notice how it's the same archetype: problem glasses, fat, overweight spinsters pushing this shit. Ugh, sickening. Keep playing. I want to hear what she has to say.
Before we go on, though.
Are the perfect pawns when you don't give a fuck about them or whatever they want? I won't argue. I'll just hope you learn how to interact like a human being when you're a senior. So you're telling me it's a requirement for women to be pushovers or sociopathic? What the fuck happened to feminism, Mom? Nicole, I don't know any woman who actively considers feminism. We vote and work. It's just a fun thing to say.
Yeah, it's like Rabbit Abba Ding Dong. Give peace a chance.
Or for What Could Possibly Go Right, where we ask cultural scouts to put on their headlamps and shine a light on the...
But I'm distracting too much. What's your topic?
Well, I guess we're going to move on to some other stuff, because we're going to have to do more on this Starhawk thing. We're going to have to go witch hunting at some point, and it's going to be fun. Oh, it'll be fun. We'll probably get kicked off of YouTube, but who gives a fuck? DZ says, "Hey guys, hey DZ, how you doing?" Wolfwind says, "The stereotype witch outfit is based on the morning dress of Puritan widows." Yeah, so it's basically they're basically taking advantage of the culturally appropriate Christian values, and then they're fucking remixing it so they can make it their own. Sickening motherfuckers. Our culture is in their costume, you cocksuckers.
Yeah, our enemies just plagiarize. They're not creative.
That's all evil can do is
just like their father below, they just distort with the good.
Don't give them the credit. They're doing it to themselves. They don't give the devil his due.
Well, no, they're acting just, even though they don't worship him, they act like their father the devil, and Jesus was right to point that out to the Pharisees.
And then of course we have Muad'Dib. And even the leftists are turning, it really is becoming like the Shadows of the Empire, where we have leftists fighting other leftists. Because Muad'Dib over here, Hassan Piker, the motherfucker who would refuse to fight, what the hell's his name? Sam Hyde, right? He refused to fight him.
Yeah, but this is kind of moot, because apparently there's some reports the war is technically over.
What, in Ukraine?
Yeah, the Ukrainian conflict, that Russia has kind of taken what it wants.
Well, Russia had its little powwow, didn't it? And now it's back to 2014 levels, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I think is bullshit. I'm trusting fucking Mr. Burns on this one. But the real thing I want to get here is the very end where let's see if I can find it here. Impressions of Hassan at 1 hour and 30 minutes in.
1 hour and 30 minutes.
Because they're eating their own, dude. And I love it. I love every second of it. And by the way, he has a very beautiful. He looks like he's leftist Jesus, Mr. Burns. He does look like he looks like a cross between, what was it, Gun Jesus and leftist Jesus. Here you go.
Well over an hour, maybe an hour and a half we've had about dialogue and review of Hassan talking about the war. Obviously, I've shown you certain clips. This isn't the breath of...
I mean, it is hilarious that Hassan thought, yeah, war is never coming. Oh, that didn't age well.
Nope, didn't age well at all. And now they're going to call him out.
But from what you have seen here, knowing that this isn't everything, and there's probably moments where he did sound better, or he might have, had different perspectives that you might view differently. What do you think about what he has said and what you have seen?
Can I start? Sure. In the shortest way possible, Hassan is a Russian apologist. He repeats Russian talking points, Russian propaganda, Russian narratives to a lot of people in his audience. He's the biggest streamer, I presume, political streamer on Twitch at least. And what he does harms Ukraine. It undermines people's support for Ukraine. It's very, very damaging. And he also does not recognize us as a people of, who have a will of their own, who have values of their own. He basically repeats imperialist talking points. He only talks about big countries, big players in that, American exceptionalist, if you will. And he only talks about that because he genuinely doesn't care or doesn't understand that other people exist and wars in Europe and Asia existed way before American states, United States existed. And yeah, he's just very either blind or he's straight up doing this on purpose, basically.
I forget which video I saw it in, but it turns out the whole purpose of NATO is not just because of the Cold War. It's just that Russia has a long history of invading, conquering its neighbors.
Yep, they're little thugs, aren't they?
And I never realized because my knowledge of Russia goes back to the Cold War, because I thought, well, the Tsars would before they were just a big kingdom. They didn't do anything. Like, oh no, it's worse, it's bad.
Again,
kind of like how the Germans have a bad habit of invading Europe. The Russians have a bad habit of invading their neighbors.
They invade everybody, Asia, Eurasia, everything. And so, I just wanted to put that out there because, again, I'm going to move on to something else. Something even more interesting. Here we go. There we go, Luke. I think I played this last time. I'm not entirely sure if I did. I think I might have.
Yes. Are we at the end? Oh, yeah, we've seen this. We played this last time.
Yes, that's the one where I actually gave him a good soundtrack. I forgot.
Oh, yeah, and apparently, soon after that, he apparently had to go to the hospital for something.
Well, he had to go. Allegedly, he had to go to the hospital for something. We know probably because he OD'd on fucking shrooms or something. Poor bastard. I don't really care, honestly. I'm just saying that because I have to fill in air. Wolfwind Pepper says Puritans made widows move outside of town, and many took up herbology and gardening to make money and pass the time before they were allowed to remarry. Now you know. Oh,
remarry for what? Like. I mean, is there some sort of puritanical tradition that says that widows can't just remarry right away?
I guess if you're puritanical, perhaps. If you're a Puritan, I mean, keep in mind these are the people who left Plymouth because they were too fucking radical. They left England because they were too fucking radical. Like they were literally the radicals of the radicals. And so when the radicals of the radicals kicked you out, which I'm wondering to myself, why the fuck were you there to begin with, right?
I mean, the Puritans tried to practice socialism before it was a thing in America, and it failed miserably.
Yep. And yeah, that's basically what we're dealing with. But here's another one for you.
So in other words, the Puritans did this, and the pagans saw that, hey, let's copy that. Try to appropriate it.
Well, they probably tried to drug people into getting people to fall in their heathen and devious ways.
That's a Catholic talking now.
Oh yeah, that's the Catholic talking, and keep in mind, I actually am Spanish, so if you ever want to have an Inquisition, you can't talk me out of anything. Just saying. Alrighty, so Covenant Eyes. This is something that I was honestly surprised this even happened, and here you go, Luke.
Oh,
there's a video on.
Oh, that's why they supposedly they had to have a time of mourning.
Oh, what, a time of mourning? Oh, so they're. I see. So they probably could. They probably could have gotten stoned out of their fucking mind, even. They could have found a way to weaponize the herbs to basically court somebody or trick someone into that shit.
Oh yeah.
Keep in mind,
Yeah.
Go on, here you go.
Keep in mind.
Play it.
Keep in mind.
Covenant.
About the witches.
Nothing.
The Puritans.
Oh, the witches. The witches. Basically, they were probably weaponizing drugs. They were roofing people. I really do believe these guys were roofiers prior to anything. Drugging people into getting them to be zombies, essentially.
I mean, I can easily see how this leads into the witch trials where these spinsters or these widows are seen as witches when they're just around bad plants. Because I mean, the Salem was like apparently had bad plants around them, and so it caused them to see things.
Yeah, or gut poisoning and shit like that, right? Yeah.
Well, and also for political differences, because accusing someone of a witch was a very convenient way of getting rid of political opposition, kind of like racist today.
So since we bashed a lot of Christians or pagans, now we're gonna have to go after the Christians as well, because we're equal opportunity assholes, and we will fucking literally burn a goddamn priest at the stake if he's a heretic. Play this, Luke.
Play what? I mean, what are we playing?
There's a video. There's a video.
Started? Oh, get started. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. This is why we fail.
Every superhero has some strengths and weaknesses.
Scorchman.
Strength, fire. Weakness, fire extinguishers.
Catman.
Strength, always lands on his feet. Weakness, laser pointers.
Hamsterman.
Strength, he's in a giant hamster ball. Weakness, he's in a giant hamster ball. And there's me.
Colossal Man.
My superpower, strength. My weakness,
Bible Man.
Porn. Bet you didn't see that one coming.
No one ever does.
This is my buddy Jeff.
Yeah, but you can call me Moon Bear. I mean, I can't fly.
Nigga
I'm just
Man.
super supportive. So just call me Jeff. Just Jeff.
Look, some people feel like porn doesn't negatively affect them, but if you're like me and you've struggled to get away from it, here's how I did it. All right, so my story, I was 12 years old the first time I saw...
And people say pornography doesn't affect you, they're outright lying. They are outright lying. It's not effective in the same... It's to certain people's, but as Beckloff always says, it's like eating junk food instead of normal good food.
Yeah, it's like cyberpsychosis. You know, you could chop off your arm and your dick and everything else, but there's a certain point where you as an individual cannot handle your liquor. You as an individual cannot handle your porn.
To say nothing of the fact you're watching people fornicate and commit adultery.
Yep, and some of these porn stars are absolutely just disgusting individuals. They have boundaries, but they're not acceptable boundaries. They think that, like, I'll give you a case in point. What was his name? The guy who was dating Soya, what the hell was his name? James Dean. He literally said that he wanted to do porn since he was 5. Okay? I don't know what... Yeah, he said this in an actual publication. So when people say he's like a sexual pervert and like a degenerate, I'm like, yeah, he probably is. He wanted to do porn and join porn since he was fucking 5. Okay, I don't know what you were doing at 5, Luke, and I don't know what I can't really recall what I was doing at 5. It's all hazy because I'm just so old. But I definitely wasn't trying to be a porn star. You know, maybe Starhawk was trying to do it because she had that evil, Sheksa shit going. But I don't know. But here you go, Luke. Here's another clip. You can put this over here just so everyone knows what is. There you go. Oh boy, what the hell? Keep playing it. Play the clip.
Porn night.
Why did you deliberately have that scene there?
Be porno night? Because they're trying to sell you a product, dude. That's what they're doing.
I know they're trying to... I get why they did that. And I get kind of... But was that really necessary to say that in front of the kid?
No, it's not appropriate, but they have to sell you the product. They have to sell you the idea that you can't do it on your own, so they have to install spyware so the Pope can do this type of shit. There you go. This is an old meme, but it checks out. You can put this on the screen right there as they talk.
Well, I'm not... The thing is, I don't necessarily disagree with what they're doing because accountability is very important, especially if you can't trust yourself.
Do you really want... Like, Luke, let me ask you a question. Do you really want to see my porn habits?
Do you need help with your porn habits?
Do you really... The answer, I asked you a question first. Do you really want to see what I'm into? Because that's what's going to happen. Your wingman is going to have to see all the shit that you're into, the fucked up 50 Shades of fucked crap that you're into. Do you really think that you're...
Have you forgotten who you're talking to? I'm the artistic layman.
Yeah, well, you're artsy as hell. I don't know. But, like, seriously, like, I don't have a bad habit. Like, honestly, at worst, I just do it because, like, I have it just as background music. Let's just be frank with ourselves. That's basically what it is. If I'm not reading a book on Audible or anything like that, I'm probably just like, oh, it's in the background. I don't care. I need something in the background. It's not even porn. It's just bots on the internet who are talking and, like, it's a live stream thing, right? There you go. Keep playing it. Porn a night. Where were we?
Is he gone? Yeah, think of porn a night like an alluring purple rock. Why, this stuff was so intoxicating. I found myself looking at it more and more. I hated the way it made me feel. I felt hopeless. For years, no matter what I did, I couldn't get away from it. Finally, I realized, even though I'm the strongest man in the world, I wasn't strong enough to quit porn alone. I needed someone to help me. I needed an ally. And that's when I found Covenant Eyes. Covenant Eyes is software for all your devices that actually helps you quit porn. The difference is having an ally to help you in the fight. Why is porn so difficult to fight alone? The shame cycle. When we look at porn, we feel shame, which leads to isolation. Then when something triggers us, we go back to the porn and it all starts over again. The best way to break this cycle is to remove the shame and isolation by opening up to a friend, which is exactly what Covenant Eyes helps us do.
Well, also the dopamine hit.
Well, it's like what Lewis Black said. They drink, and then they feel guilty, so they go back, and they drink again. It's a perfect circle. That's sort of what it is. It's the perfect fucking circle. You feel bad because you have that post-nut clarity, and then you go, you feel guilty, you confess, and then you do it again. You know, the biggest problem with porn, honestly, like the best thing I've done to quit porn is get rid of your chair. I know it sounds crazy, but just swap out your chair. No. Like seriously, like you get in, like the biggest problem with porn addiction is you get into a habit. So like if you sit down in a different chair, or let's say you get rid of your chair at your desk, you're not gonna be able to sit down and watch porn, are you? You're gonna have to think. You have to rewire your brain. So you don't just sit down and say, "Oh, I'm in my comfy chair. Now I'm gonna go watch, Stoya Jack, beat off some fucking weirdo." Keep playing it.
I get it. Porn nights. That's the theme we're going with.
Here's how it works. Covenant Eyes can detect when porn is viewed. After you've struggled, Covenant Eyes creates a report of your activity. Then it sends that report to an ally of your choosing. Someone who supports you, but not porn, like a good friend or a sibling. For me, it was Jeff. This Covenant Eyes report lets your ally know that you need their help. And this connection to a friend takes you out of isolation and gives you the hope and encouragement you need to win the next battle.
Because that actually does help. Just getting out and touching the grass and just getting out and living life probably is the best killer of pornography.
That, and also the fact that you just don't be around it. Don't be around it. Because here's the thing. I'm wondering what else are they looking at? What constitutes porn in their eyes? Like if I listen to an audiobook, or let God help you, ASMR, I think it is, like on YouTube, is that porn? Is bubble porn, the whole Mormon porn? And I'll show you some bubble porn for a second. Keep playing it. No, you don't know what it is. I'll show you. Keep going. It's fine. It's fine. Just trust me.
After a while, just knowing that Jeff would see my report gave me the strength to resist.
When Chris asked me to be his ally to help him with this porn thing, I was like, dude, I'm messing with you, man. I was like, of course, man.
Asking Jeff to be my ally took me out of the shame cycle, and I finally felt like I could win this fight.
Like, boom! I just destroyed you, shame cycle, like I destroyed Chris's bathroom.
What? I'm just messing.
Could they? I mean, it almost feels like they're aiming this at teenagers.
They kind of. Well, I feel like they're aiming at the evangelical crowd. Like they're going after church pastors, like youth pastors, so to speak.
Yeah, the kind of people who don't like cursing in their entertainment.
Yeah, honestly, you have to learn to control your appetites, else your appetites control you. Go talk to a chick. Go talk to some chick. Go to a bar, If you really have to feed the fucking beast, feed the beast, but feed it healthy food. Don't feed it junk food. Don't feed it like some of the trashy fucking women that are in the porn industry, or guys for that matter. And here's the bubble porn.
After using Covenant Eyes, nearly 80% of users reported feeling hopeful and motivated that they can quit porn. Covenant Eyes works.
Yeah, it's like a flare gun.
Wait, what?
It automatically goes off, signaling that you need their help.
You're burning my house! But unlike a flare gun, Covenant Eyes notifications are discreet and private, and don't burn a hole in your ceiling.
Okay, this kind of like these Sasquatch commercials or the Squatty Potty commercials. I have to admit, they work. I mean, they run on, but they are entertaining.
Again, I'm not a big fan of Big Eva. You already know that. And even then, this could be useful. And again, for the record, It may be cringy as fuck, but at least it's a solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can now actually use this as an example and shill it to people who say, we should censor the internet. We should get porn to be blocked on the ISP level. In fact, you know what? I'm going to send this to Eagle Michael Jones. I'm going to fucking tweet that motherfucker right now. Keep playing it and show the bubble porn.
Yeah, that one's on me.
So if you look at porn and you want to not look at porn, go to covenanteyes.com and download the app today. That's all you have to do. I'm holding a car here.
How did Covenant Eyes affect Chris? More like, how did it affect us? We started to rebuild the trust in our relationship. He stopped hating himself. He became more confident. And our relationship felt more honest and connected. Overall, it made a huge difference in our marriage.
And she never gets annoyed with me anymore. Right there?
Yep, perfect.
All right.
I think he meant annoyed less.
After just a few weeks, it was crazy how much less power porn had over me and how much more confidence I had.
One trip. Yeah?
Fucking no flap November shit.
That is a very modern evangelical expression. Like the dynamic between the husband and the wife, right there. The entertainment level evangelical.
No, I don't want to see your homework folder unless it's actually like academic stuff, Wolf. Again, I just wanted to show people that. Again, show it, Luke. It's in the chat.
Do I need to block it first? What's the deal?
No, you don't need to block it. You just take a look at the photo I sent you.
Oh, it's
and then
censorship.
realize.
Or
exactly, it's Mormon porn. And before people start saying Mormon, just show the.
Wait,
show
this
it,
is
please.
How is this pornography?
Because again, you can't get rid of the demons. You can only transcend them. You look at a woman with a lustful eye, and again, the way it's set up, it's designed to make people like look at the women and say, "Oh yeah, they're naked. I can imagine what they look like naked." This is something that I learned from Attack of the Show back on G4 was actually watchable.
Although this is, I can actually see it though. This is actually more. The orange one is actually more alluring than the normal one because it's up to the imagination to fill in the gaps.
Exactly, and this is one of the reasons why you can only do so much when you block like digital porn, but you're not going to be able to stop the guy from sneaking a Playboy bag or something along those lines. Or God forbid, if you really want to go classical, the fucking the headlamp from the Christmas Story, right? The one of the sexy lady, right? The long-legged woman, right? The leg lamp from fucking Christmas Story, right? Yeah, you can't stop people from this type of shit. You can't stop it. All you can do is try to control it and understand it and better yourself from it.
Although to be fair, when people think pornography, they think of a man, a woman, or one or more person doing something. Like this is almost like erotic. This is almost like erotica than actually porn.
Yeah, exactly. And of course you're like, oh, that blonde one, the one with the freaking face, the one in the middle. Yeah, I'd smash her and I'd fuck her right in the pussy. But again, this is something that you're doing to yourself. Yes, the biggest problem with pornography is the fact that it's not just because it's exploitive, but it's how fast it hits you. Like on-demand porn, porn from, let's say, Pornhub or something like that, where they'll give you more and more and more based on what you like, right? So,
yeah, I want to recommend, but I hasten to recommend the movie called Don John, because it's basically a story with a guy who has a porn addiction, but unlike what was that one? Fireproof. It's actually insightful. Because there's a segment where he's like explaining his habits, and he's like, nowadays there's so much pornography, I have to spend a lot of time just trying to find the good one. And sometimes you find a video that's so good it's almost painful. And it's like, why can't I have that in real life?
Yeah, ankles used to be considered hardcore. They used to. That is true.
Oh, yeah,
you're correct about that.
Because when you're Victorian and everything's covered, that becomes like,
Yeah, I mean, look at some of these Muslims. I mean, they have sexual emergencies at this pool, right?
Ugh.
Just saying. But yeah, like, I understand there's a need for it, and I can't bash them for creating a product, especially since given the fact that the worst shit out there is when we actually build the infrastructure that can then be used to censor our political rifles, right? So I'd rather have bubble porn and people like actually legitimately fighting their urges with the buddy system, essentially.
But again, it's bubble erotica. It's not really porn.
And my brother's correct. American Beauty is a perfect example. Yeah, you can't turn off not the male gaze. We have three freaking instincts: fight, flee, reproduce. the moment you try to deny one of them is the moment your body turns on you. You know, you have a reason to reproduce. Go out and talk to some chicks. Just talk to them.
Until you meet your 30s and it kind of mellows out.
I don't know about you, man. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm unemployed or right now, but I have had, my testosterone shoot through the roof. I feel really good.
Idle hands are the devil's playthings.
Indeed. Well, they're sticky playthings.
No.
They're like, oh, God. Wolf also says, it used to be if you saw a woman's ankle, you had to marry her, and that's why housewives, had 2 sets of stairs. Oh, houses had 2 sets of stairs. Oh.
Huh? Oh. Is that real?
I think it might be. I mean, Wolf has never really let me down. He hasn't always been really had a lever. He's always been useful.
It's like the puritanical take of anime where if you see a girl, like the joke in anime is you've actually seen a girl naked, then she can never get married.
Oh, gee. Yeah, you'll have a bloodshot nose as well.
Which I can't imagine happening. Even when that happened, I was like, wait, did that happen?
No, it doesn't happen. It's a Japanese stereotype.
Yeah,
it's like knocking on
more
wood.
An anime stereotype, because I've never. The only time I ever had a nosebleed was when I was hit in the face. Because I've never had a nosebleed in any other context.
I had a nosebleed when I first came out here. I can remember my nose, my nose got freaking dried out. I needed to snort water essentially, and I had a nosebleed. It was again, it's because it was so dry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I started. Admittedly, I'm like, oh, I can't breathe. It's my nose. And then one of my brother's friends decided to give me a bottle of water in the desert, which was the kindest thing you could do to someone at this point. Anyhow, let's see what else we got. Okay, so I can't go back. Okay, here we go. One last thing, and this is the thing that might actually do me in. Because, by the way, like and subscribe if you can. It really does help. We have 4 people liking. I have 8 people here. If you guys would be wonderful and actually it would actually help me out a lot, and it motivates me between me looking for work and trying to survive selling shit on eBay. It actually would brighten my day if you guys would gladly if you enjoy this content. And we're going to do one more thing, and this is the thing that's going to probably do us in.
And what is
the
that?
Manifest, the Woeanifesto.
Oh, yes. So it is.
And we're not. Yep. This one right here. So Steven Crowder, say what you will about Crowder. I like him. I think he really should run for office. And if I told him why I think he should and my reasoning for why we need more people to actually run for office, I guarantee he would rise to the occasion. But then he would probably say, no, that doesn't work either. Then I wouldn't be able to get my money. What would I have to Mug Club? But no, here you go.
Skip ahead to the part we want. National shooter. Here we go.
The fucking tranny killer, or the good old boy killer, so to speak.
The trans Christian killer, that sticks.
Yep.
They're
trying to transubstantiate.
Not trans Christian. The Christian. What's a good acronym? What's a good catchphrase?
The Logos killer. The Logos killer. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I don't know.
No, not Christian killer. Christian child killer. Ugh. That's better.
The servant of Moloch.
Because in the manifesto, she explicitly states that I'm going to target their Christians because they have too much moppy hair and they're too privileged. Or, not privileged, but you get the idea.
Yeah, they hate WASP culture. They hate people like Gavin Newsom.
That's like gore. Have you ever seen like a gory anime?
Have I not? Like, what other anime is there? I mean, dude, there's like 10,000 gallons of blood in each character, dude. I've seen Elfin Lee, dude. I've seen fucking Violence Jack.
Yeah, because that's the level of evil we're talking about when you're deliberately targeting children. Like that's like the level of horrifying evil that you see in an anime where the characters are basically torn apart like sheets of paper.
They are sheets of paper. Well, they are sheets of paper. They're anime characters. They're 2D.
Plastic cells, my friend. Plastic cells.
So let's hear it. Let's hear conservative Raffi tell us what's what.
Sick and tired of what's happening. Eat at Denny's. And after the break, the Covenant School Shooters Manifesto is leaked. Welcome back. Conservative podcaster Steven Crowder released a leaked manifesto from the shooter that killed 6 people at Covenant Christian School in Nashville this past March before being killed by police. The police refused to release the manifesto, despite several media requests to do so. They said it was to be respectful to the families of the deceased. But some feel it's because the shooter was trans, and the leaked manifesto revealed they wanted to kill privileged white kids at the school, despite the shooter also being white and having previously attended the school. Because of the Nashville killer's beliefs and lifestyles, many think the reason their manifesto, or tranifesto, if you will, was suppressed by authorities was to protect left-leaning ideology.
Woeanifesto. That's what it is. It's a Woeanifesto. No, but like seriously, the cops are dropping the ball on this again, and I'm really sick and tired of having to call the police out for the most basic fucking shit out there. Between George Floyd, which by the way, when George Floyd first kicked off, I actually was taking the side of the protesters, and you know why? Because it looked like they actually were hurting the guy, but then after a few fucking torch cities later, we then see someone leak the actual cop cam footage on a fucking phone that they recorded from the evidence locker. And my theory is it's one of the fucking officers' wives. I don't believe any guy would actually have the balls, no pun intended, to actually go against the state. But the woman might. The woman actually, this is something that a woman would do. And they call me a sexist all you want, but that needed to happen. Because afterwards, we got to see, George Floyd legitimately cooperate. And of course, the cops are like, is he okay? Okay, you could sit down, you could lay down. And we actually got to see it. We actually got to see what actually happened. But guess what? He had a whole summer of love to go through before we even got to that point, which should have been released within at least 72 hours. It really should have been. Play it, Luke.
Let's see what's happening.
This is why the DOJ suppressed the Nashville Manifesto. It shows how leftist ideology radicalized a trans shooter to murder Christian children. This was political terrorism, and the Biden regime tried to cover it up. So we have a killer, a potentially politically motivated cover-up, and a politically motivated blame game. Man, if I want to see a story with no one I can root for, I'd just watch Wolf of Wall Street again. At least that story's entertaining, for the 7 minutes Matthew McConaughey's in it. There were a ton of elections this week, and the big takeaway, according to the press, is that Democrats were the big winners, due largely to voters rejecting...
Oh yeah, that's it. That was all.
Yeah, that's it. Because you can't show the manifesto. I mean, Crowder got fucking iced by this shit. I'm not gonna post it. I have the.
It's
fucking
on Rumble.
manifestos.
You can see the whole. What parts he does read.
Yeah, he does read some of them, and it's some of the most poorly written shit out there. And you can very well make the argument that it actually was faked, even because it's not a manifesto. It's just like a 5-sentence daily journal they make you do in homeroom school.
It's an ancient
That's what it is.
screed in high school, high school. That's what it is.
No, like remember back in homeschool
it's what you think the Columbine shooter kids were writing about.
No, not even that. Like they were far more illiterate. They were far more illiterate, actually. No, but like you remember like when you were in junior high or like middle school and they'd like make you like write what you're in your journal, write 3 sentences and whatnot. And that's sort of what the same vibe I get off of it. It's like write in your vanilla notebook what you did this weekend. And then you just write like, I went to Dave & Buster's. It was fun. I really like Dave & Buster's. That's the same type of literacy and level that this manifesto is on. When I think manifesto, I think the communist manifesto, I think the scum manifesto, I think the anarchist manifesto, I think of the fucking hacker manifesto. I don't think of your daily writing in homeroom school to be the manifesto, but we'll call it a manifesto because let's be frank, it sounds scary, and people died because of this woman's or person or just critter's actions. I don't know. So that's pretty much it, Luke. Do you have any final thoughts?
Maybe this one, if it works. Oh, wait, let me get this working right.
And honestly, I don't know. I mean, this woman is such a perfect woman. She lets me do whatever I want to do without saying a word.
I got you trained so well.
Mm-hmm. So, as you can see, lying works. Okay, she's not nagging.
Oh, jeez. Sometimes the dogs train their owners, and sometimes the owners train the dogs, don't they? Ladies and gentlemen, be good to one another. Take care of one another. Remember, saving the West is a side quest. This is the Digital Renegade Podcast. Out.